Welcome everyone, coloring session 2 for Moonlight from Dance Dreams Coloring Book Volume 1 by Christine Ijak, who is me. And today I thought we'd continue coloring the moon, and then maybe we'll have time to work into the trees a little bit. So last night the moon was this yellow with orange in it, and I thought it was so beautiful. We have a big thunderstorm about to hit here, so I may have to stop the video and restart if the rain decides to come in my kitchen window. We shall see. So remember, there is no right way. There's only your way. Feel free to change, make the colors what you would like. It doesn't have to be my coloring. This could also be the sun. It could just be a sphere or a bubble. So I'm going to take this more golden yellow. And I'm going to try to separate these shapes up a little bit. So I think I'll go darker along this edge here. And then I'm going to go darker on this top edge here. Coming in with some other colors soon. The little girl next door sounds like a bird when she yells. It's like, that's not a bird, that's her. There's this interesting thread here. I'm not quite sure, but it seems like it should be something coming out there. A bit darker here. I think I'll just go darker down. That's pretty. Those colors are pretty. So I'm going to take one of my, let's see, I was going to do a limey green, but I'm not sure. We should go with orange. I think we're going to go the orange route. So, just a little bit. So when I did this before, my moon was all blues and purples. It's going to be very exciting, this storm. Can you feel it in the air? The wind is picking up, and it's that beautiful, cool relief that comes with those storms. They said we were close to 100. Feels like temperature here outside of Philadelphia. And after the storm, it's going to be around 70, I think they said. On the news, but who knows really. Okay. So I'm just adding a little bit of variety. I want to keep that white right there. I like the way that makes it glow a little bit. Right now. Not quite sure where this is all going, but it's like it's got this covering. Curious. All right, let's move on over here to some of these other trees. I was thinking that I would still do this one in like tree colors. So I'm going to find a dark green and a lighter green. Let's see if they're different enough. These are very similar. This one is a little more teal. And purple. I'm looking for one of my deep greens. I think I have them over here. I'm certainly not one of those people that organizes their pens very well. Pencils. Okay, so I have a dark green and a dark teal. This one is more of a hunter green. I get a good point on that. I'm going to start the same that I did before. Down. There's lots of ways you can do these. You could also start, like I did the moon, I started with a base coat first, and then I did the dark on top. You could also do that way. I think if you do it this way, then you can use the light colors, what they call like a burnisher. It helps lay the pencil really flat. Someone had asked me, and I'd forgotten about that word, burnish. It's like when they use that word a lot when you need to transfer like a decal to a wall, you burnish it. It's like rubbing it. You see how it's dark right here? I'm going to try to keep it lighter so that they sit against each other and don't disappear. So I'm playing with where the dark goes in these shapes. So that I don't lose them. Can go that way. And this one can be dark at that corner and it doesn't cause any problems. This one dark over here, but then Really needs to lighten up pretty quickly. Sounds like a school bus. It's a big truck in our neighborhood. I miss hearing the ice cream trucks in the summer. I was thinking about that the other day. We had a water ice truck that used to come when I was little. And my favorite was root beer water ice, and then you could get a soft pretzel, a Philly pretzel. If you've never had a Philadelphia pretzel, it's worth a trip to Philadelphia. And you would take your soft pretzel and you would dip it into the root beer water ice, and the combination of the salt and the sweet, and it was, oh, I remember that well. Taste it on my tongue. And he was this really cool hippie guy that ran the truck, and he would get out and play street hockey with the guys in the neighborhood. Now that I think about it, he might have been selling more than just water ice. Oh boy. Life is interesting. We can add a darker here. He was always nice to all of us though. He's a fun guy. My favorite was the root beer. So excited, I got my box of teas from Tea House today. Their July sampler. I'm so excited. The teas looked really delicious. So that's called Tea House, Teahaus in Ann Arbor, Michigan. It's my cousin's tea house, and she does her own blends, and she really knows her tea. She was trained in Europe and traveled all over the world studying tea and tea leaves, and she makes such wonderful blends. But they have a sampler, and for $4.95 you can get I think it's 3 or 4, I think it's 4 little sample bags of loose tea, and they usually are seasonal, and then there's a little description of how to prepare it best and why she chose it, or someone on her staff chose it. And it's really neat. There's a star, so I'm gonna do one of my starry night circles. And we're gonna start to fade these out. So I'm just gonna fill these in with the green. Try to get some more stars in here. Creating some starry night textures. So I'm just making circles. Spiraling. So I want it to look like this is the sky already up here. The branches have released their hold and start to fly. I did a copy of Starry Night, a big 4x6 flat for a scene design class. It was the last exercise. And by then the canvas was so heavy and thick because I had learned how to do marble and wood graining and everything on that one canvas. And then at the end, the Starry Night, I was like, oh, I should have gotten a new one because it came out so nicely, but it started cracking because there were so many layers underneath it. I ended up giving it to a friend who was working on his master's at Lehigh University, and he hung it in his lab. That big palette. So there's some trees back in there, but we're gonna let them go for now. I'm gonna keep working on this one. So now I want to get like a lighter. I don't know if this one is contrasting enough. This is kind of bright. Just gonna touch a little bit in that middle area. I think we can do better with contrast, so I might not even keep going. Yeah, we're not even gonna keep going with that. So I'm gonna take one of the yellows, not the most lemony, but not the most golden. And I'm gonna imagine this is still just a bright summer tree. A beautiful oak or maple. So I'm just going right over the greens and coloring them all in. So you can, like I'm starting to already feel there's a flat on my pencil. I don't have to turn it too much to be able to cover large areas. Sorry, my table was shaking because I'm coloring with such gusto. Send a little bit of that sunlight up into our stars. While I have the yellow, I'm going to make a couple circles to remind me where they are. This is fun. You just get to like make little spiralies on, and I did a couple little swooshies if you want to color them. Star, 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 star. Kind of remind me of fireflies too. A bit of yellow on here. Make this one a little bit more yellow. The moon is touching that edge. All right, now I'm going to get one of my blue colors. Take a sip of tea. Alrighty. So I don't want this transition to be so harsh, so I'm just softening it up a little bit. There's a star. Adding a little texture in here. Start doing these swirlies and doing those kind of textures, your artistic side is taking over, and you're embellishing what I've done, but you're really making it your own. So have fun with it. Don't be shy. Leaving some spaces is not a bad thing. I'm gonna color this one a little bit, maybe there. I'm going to color that top edge a little darker. So this was like it's like a light blue, but it's working, like a turquoisey color. Because I like all these wave shapes, I don't want to lose them. Waving and weaving. I went back to my dance studio today and taught a private class for one of my seniors. That graduated, but we're trying to make it so she can do her solo for her parents in the studio. And it was wonderful. She practiced, she knew her dance, and we haven't met for months. It was really wonderful, and just being in the space and moving again to music, even though I didn't do too much. She was pretty much moving boy, it was really wonderful for me. Very medicinal. Therapeutic, for sure. That's the word I was looking for. To be back dancing again. Hopefully in the fall our studio will be able to get back to full class schedules, but everything's kind of up in the air. There's the rumble in the jungle out there. So exciting. Right. So I'm talking through this, but you see what I'm doing, right? I'm hitting that top line there. If I see a star, I don't want to go through it because I like having it there. And whenever I see like a hole like this, I can darken that one up so that they don't disappear. I'm picking edges to highlight or to color stronger, I should say. I'm going to sneak a little bit of color into that star. If you ever liked Van Gogh's Starry, Starry Night, this is your chance to have some fun with the movement of the heavens. It's kind of, the stars do that. Like if your vision, you ever, if you wear glasses and you take them off and look at a light, they do that. And I think this might have already been a part of Van Gogh's life when his eyesight was going. So the stars really did glow like that for him. Sometimes car headlights do that for me. I think I might need nighttime driving glasses. So, anyhow. Okay, now we're going to pull this edge here. Don't want to cover my stars. For another color up in there. And we're going to start to pull it down a little bit more. So I'm picking edges. Pressing pretty hard to get that tealy color in there. You can layer it over the yellow if you want, but I'm liking what it's doing over the hunter green too. So those are 3 colors we're using. Oh, there was a star in there. Remember, it's good to start light if you're not sure what's happening, because you can always go back. So there's our Starry, Starry Night textures we're working on. Don't want to lose those. A couple circles. And then I'm just filling in like the white spots that happen outside those circles. We'll color that one dark. I have an idea that just should be a little darker. So it's kind of, they call it intuitive. Just do it. Don't think too much about it. That's the most therapeutic for you, is if you just let your hand work, and you'll be surprised. Your hand will make decisions for you that maybe you were too scared to make. a circle, 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 circle. Like little curly cues. It's actually really fun to do those. I think it's fun. I get my thrills from coloring. Okay. And darker here. Oop, there was a star. Let's see here. I want to hit some of these little darker, that teal color, because it's so pretty. Sneak it in there. This one's a little too strong right there. Soften it out. Oh, I feel that breeze. Hallelujah. Woo! Here comes the wind. So I'm going to dark at the edge and lighten it up inside. I think we might finish right before the big bangs start. You see it's getting darker. There might be a star in there. I should be playing like Ride of the Valkyries or something with this storm going. This music might be a little too calm for what's happening outside my window. Okay, we're almost done in this area. I'm just going to do this lightly because I'm not sure yet where I'm going with that. Let's see, we can maybe do a little bit more shading. Do a little darker teal in that ripple. I like that it looks like the air is moving the wind through the trees. Let's see, 27, we have a little time. Okay, I'm going to sharpen this up and try to just work on those lines a little bit more. Ooh, that was fun. I like doing those swirlies. So remember, once you sharpen your pencil, you really should scrub a little bit on a piece of paper because sometimes the edge has like a really sharp point and you'll put like a really strong line and you'll be like, oh man, and they're hard to get rid of those lines. So it's good to try out your pencil on another piece of paper first before you, so you learn what your tip is feeling like. I'm going to go over some of these and pull them out. I usually like to pull out a line by shading into it rather than just drawing the line. Do you see? So I go darker up to it and that creates the line rather than you just putting your pencil over it. Right? So like for example, see, I could just color the line blue, or I can come up to it and get darker. So the line happens because of the volume under it, not because I drew a line, you know. I think it makes it more interesting. So like right here, I'm going to shade into that shape. So then it doesn't look so much as a line, but like a shape. Makes it a little more interesting. You can just go around doing that, pulling out edges, adding some interest and movement. Let's see if I can pull a little bit more of this teal down. Like that one needed something right there for sure. So it seems like most of my darks are on the left sides of the shape. Which kind of makes sense, because if the moon was coming and lighting it from the side here. And I'm going to color this one a little more teal. Oops, off the page. Alright, and then the trunk of that tree, this one needs to be a little darker, I think. So yeah, when you look at the big picture, you'll find things that you could change or add. Like I think a little bit more yellow in here. So a little less turquoisey and a little more green. Because my tree looked like it had a divot in it. There we go. Okay, so for the trunk for this, I'm going to start with a brown. This is that reddish-y brown. Oh gosh, maybe that's like a dark red. I don't know. It's reading like a dark red, isn't it? Yep, it is. That's okay. So we're going to go here. Putting the light one down. And remember, you can take your branches up by picking some lines to follow up into the tree. You can thicken them up a little bit. And weave your branches up into the tree. And I'm just picking a couple down here in this low area. And then they disappear as they get up. Oops, off the page. Okay, and then I think I'm going to take one of the dark blues. Just do because it's nighttime, so I'm just doing like a little bit of a trunk texture, like lines. Thickening up that trunk right there. This tree here. Alright, so I think that's it for today. We really boogied around, didn't we? It's exciting. Some stars here, just brighten them up a bit. So yeah, as soon as you cross the yellow over onto the blue, you're gonna get more of a green. So I like the white in there though. I think that's really neat. Well, I hope you had fun coloring with me, and I'll see you for the next session of Moonlight. Thank you.